love when Marnie just tucks herself in. She's in her little bed, asleep. Oh my gosh. She's even covered her face. That's so cute. If I even started the intro of this video, but this is a new reading vlog for April. I just finished one that's on my channel. I posted it like yesterday, and I know these videos never get a lot of views, but these are like my favorite to make and document, and I love watching these. Welcome to this new reading vlog. I have a big exciting update. I've been outside because it's such a nice April day. It's like so hard for me to get stuff done. My antique store is literally launching in 2 days and I have so much to do, but it's so hard not to just be outside reading. So I'm sitting on my yoga mat, sun tanning basically. I finished the Love Hypothesis. It took me a little bit to get through this just because I do have a lot going on at the moment. I'm like filming the slushy video right now. My antique store is launching. Hopefully the wind isn't that bad. It might be a really bad filming spot. When I get stressed and overwhelmed, I definitely procrastinate more, which is why I was reading outside. But like I was saying, it took me a while to get through this because I had so much going on, but I did finally finish it, and I'm a little bit confused as to what my thoughts are about this book because half of the time I was like rolling my eyes and not into it, and it just felt very, very like fluffy, but like worse than Icebreaker in my opinion. And it was hard for me to get into like the plot. But the other half of the time, she was writing sentences that like made me kick my feet and made me giggly, and like I really liked the banter, and I liked some of the descriptions, and I liked where the characters were going, and I liked the plot. So I'm very, very torn between my thoughts. Like, it's not the best romance book, but it's not the worst, and I think that's why I have a hard time placing it, because sometimes I was really into it and then other times I was really not. Probably like 3 stars, but I don't know more beyond that, and I don't know my thoughts. Real. I'm not sure what I think of Allie Hazelwood yet, even though I just finished her book. Like, I'm just not sure if I like her writing. I think I need to read more to determine it because this book was so like iffy for me. I'm glad I'm done with it. Like, I was definitely in it. Oh, also, I got the edition with like the extra chapter. No, the extra chapter was just the dirty scene. I'm like outside, so I don't want to say it that loud. It was just like the smut, the dirty scene from his POV. So it's like the same chapter, but you get extra naughtiness, I guess. So that was kind of like a waste in my opinion, but I'm honestly so glad to be done with this book. On to the next. I came up to my room to figure out what I'm going to read next, and I am so torn. So let me show you what I have it narrowed down to. All of these are from my April TBR list at the moment, but I equally want to read all of these, which is why I don't know which one to pick. I guess my fear with this book is that it might be hard to get into, which I don't even know why that is a thought, because I don't know anything about the way that she writes. I chose Love and Other Words for my next read in my romance video that I'm filming, but just because it's my next romance book doesn't mean that it's like my next read. I don't know if I want to keep reading the genre of romances because I was so confused about Love Hypothesis, but I might read this one next, and I really want to read Hostage. I feel like this is a book that I could read in like a day that hopefully just has me so hooked. I'm judging it completely off of its cover. That's how I feel about it. But at the same time, I'm in no place right now to be reading a whole book in one day. I have so much that I'm stressed over, and something that I do when I'm really stressed is I do everything but what has to be done, including filming this video and reading. Like, I don't need to be doing that right now, but it's what I do. So because of that, I know that I do not deserve a day of reading. This might get me through the week. I don't want to spend a whole week reading books. Like, it took me a while to read The Love Hypothesis because I had so much going on, and I don't want to do that again. I like reading books quickly. Well, subjectively quickly for me. I think I'm gonna try Love and Other Words. You know, I'm just holding the book and it feels right. I don't know, that won't make sense to anybody, but if you're spiritual and you like crystals and you're drawn to things, like, that's how I feel holding this book. So I think now is the time. literally have only read 3 pages. I read the prologue and I'm already obsessed with her writing style. She's such a strong writer. Like, this already has so much substance. Probably the strongest well-written romance book that I've read, and I've only read 3 pages. I want to underline everything. Her descriptions are beautiful, and I'm already close to tears too because they're talking about the death of a parent, which is always really sad. And that's not giving anything away because that's the prologue. Just the way that everything flows. Oh my gosh, yeah. After he loved mom with the strength of the sun, or it killed her with a gentle grasp. Like, her descriptions are so well written. We're big fans, aren't we, Marnie? I didn't go into this with high expectations because I thought it was just like another romance book, but so far I can tell this is going to be such a great read. I'm loving it. Look at my view when I read. Marnie. Marnie, hi. Marnie, hi girl. Hey. I haven't felt the need to underline a fictional book like this in years. Like, I underline self-help or like any type of book that's more textual, that has things I want to like remember to do. But when it's just a story like this book, I haven't underlined it since the end of Evelyn Hugo, when there was one line that I was like, I need to underline that. No, but this, okay, wait, now I don't like how red this is. Is that better? Okay, sorry, indecisiveness at 3 a.m. I read a sentence last night that made me order pens. I'm not even, because I couldn't use any of my pens. I wanted to use a pink gel pen so that it would match the book. So I caved. This is the most exciting thing ever. I'm gonna link these down below. I'm obsessed. And I bought this whole set of gel pens. I love gel pens. These are such nice quality. Look at them. I have one in every single color now, so I'll be able to underline. But I knew I'm still literally only 38 pages in, but I knew from page 1 that this was going to be such a good book. And that hasn't happened to me ever. I'm in love with the way that Christina Lauren writes, specifically the way that she describes things. I realized tonight, I think I love it so much because it's very similar to how I write. And when I notice that in other people's writing, obviously I'm really drawn to it, but I need to share with you some of the things that I've been underlining, but also like, look, do you see what I mean? Where the pink just looks so good because it's like a pink book. It's my book, it's my copy. I needed it to be pink. It's just, she writes in such a simple yet beautiful way, and everything she describes is stunning. The first thing that caught my attention was in the prologue's first paragraph, when the protagonist is talking about her parents and she says, when they met, she didn't speak a word of English, but by the time she died, when I was 10, it was almost as if they'd created their own language. Or a little bit later, when she's talking about her dad, his arms became a set of parentheses bracketing the sweetest secret phase. Like, it's not like overly done Shakespearean, but the way that she describes things feels like honey. Like, it's so good. You can just tell that she's actually a talented writer. And it's sad that I've read so many books not like this for me to get excited when the writing is good, but like, I'm going from like It Ends With Us, Ugly Love, Icebreaker, even Allie Hazelwood to this. Competition made it really easy. I love her writing style. Before YouTube, I went to school and I had plans to be an English teacher because I wanted to publish my writing and just do that. Write on the side, get a paycheck by teaching English, and I love writing. I still do. I feel like it's coming out right now, like you can see it, because I like reading snippets as if you're my class. Like if I had a high school English class, this is me reading the paragraph right now to class, and I'm getting all amped and excited about it. We're gonna talk about describing scenery today. In another life, maybe in a couple decades, that'll be my pipeline, because that is what I have experience in and my degrees in. So anyway, this description, to set the scene, she's in an open house, walking down a hallway to a door, right? And it says, the crystal knob was cold but unclouded, and it turned with a rusty whine. The door stuck, edges misshapen from the chronic dampness. I pushed with my shoulder, determined to get in, and nearly tumbled into the warm, bright room. Isn't that just so beautiful? A writer would just write, I opened the door. I opened the door, it was jammed a little bit, I walked in. But no, Christina Lauren is gonna tell you that the knob was crystal and that it was cold but not unclouded. Like, I already am rereading this book and I'm only 30 pages in. Like, I'm already rereading the 30 pages that I've read. This is gonna be a book that I reread, okay. Oh my God, and this part. And then one day, the universe had the last laugh, giving Elliot a voice like warm, rich honey. The universe had its last laugh, giving Elliot a voice like warm, rich honey. I don't think any other romance writer could do what she's doing that I've read of so far. If you know of somebody, let me know, because I get it. I always have slight like hesitation when people say this is their favorite book, because I don't know what to expect. I didn't know what her writing style was like. All I knew is that it was a romance book, so my expectations were already like a little bit low, especially for like writing style, because you don't really read romance books for like the writing strength, and that's why I like the literature that I like. But I think there was one more paragraph I wanted to mention. Okay, it was literally the page that I ended on last night when I put in the order to buy this pen because I knew I had to underline it. She's talking to Elliot and there's a break in the paragraph and she goes, and there, right there in that second, it felt like we had something easy. Like, that's how I write in my journals when I'm feeling something and there's that moment, that feeling. She's so real. Yeah, so I just spent some time underlining my favorite parts so far, but already don't want to finish it and I've barely started it. I have not felt this way about a book. I don't even know when. I don't think I knew a book would be this good this early on in forever. Because with Evelyn Hugo, I learned as I went, but I can only compare it to Evelyn Hugo because that was the last time I felt this way, and that was in 2022, so 2 years ago, like 50 books ago. If you're gonna take anybody's word, take my word and read Love in Other Words. Like, my heart is racing. Okay, I'm gonna read some more. It is a beautiful day. This book does is make me cry. It's not even sad, it's like happy, but there's just so much emotion and like solidness built into every single word that she writes that I feel it so well, even if it's just like a thought. I don't know if it's because I have similar experiences, similar emotions, or similar just like losses. I relate to this book in so many ways and I can't even explain it. Like, I didn't lose an Elliot from my childhood, but like there are places and quotes and things that I'm like, oh, okay, I think I realized. I think it's probably that feeling of when another family that knows you in a way that nobody else does, like, takes you in and calls you family. Because I always had that growing up with like friends. I don't know if I'm ready to talk about it. I just finished this outside. If you follow me on Instagram, then you've seen what I've said about it, but I'm out of words. Basically, this is my new favorite comfort book. It feels so comforting to read, even though it's like sad. It's such a mix of like happy and warm and soft and nostalgic, but sad and devastating and grieving and like, it really blew me out of the waters though. This is one of those books that I wish I could read again for the first time. And the only other books that come to mind when I say that are The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and None of This Is True. This is up there, top best read of the year so far, but it's so comforting. I wish I could read it again. I am just in complete despair. I'm in the, I just finished this book and I don't know what to do with myself right now, but oh my gosh. I really want to try Christina Lauren's other books, even though I was reading the acknowledgements and she was saying how this was like her first women's fiction book, or like it's very different than her others, so that kind of made me nervous that I won't like her other books. If you need the best written book, such a great romance, such a great like childhood friends to lovers, really old, somebody from your past reconnecting type of book. If you also love books, if you appreciate words, if you would rather be tucked away reading in a library than going out, you will love this book. There are so many parts of it that I related to and envied from like childhood. The descriptions are beautiful. It's like the kind that makes you see the people that you love still as the way they looked as kids, if that makes sense. It's just, there's so many layers to it. I'm glad that I bought this pink gel pen to underline with because there were so many parts, and I knew there was this one like type of conversation banter like question that they do in this book, and I had a feeling that she was going to end it on like what they always say to each other, and I just like, I knew the last two sentences of the book, but when I saw it written, I still was like sobbing my eyes out. The last chunk of the book, I was just crying the whole time for so many different reasons. I didn't think this book would hit that hard. Also, the weirdest thing is that Minnesota's mentioned very briefly on one page, and then a city in Minnesota. They said that like her cousin stayed with her aunt in Edina. I know Edina, and knowing the plot, I'm like, that is the perfect city to choose for them. But that was a really cool moment of like, oh my God, like I live right there. I don't, but like I grew up in that area, so it was really comforting to see that. Let me see if I can find any good quotes in here, because I know that I shared some of what I underlined, but should we have a little sharing moment? Oh my God, this part broke my heart. This sentence, it says, "I never got to fall out of love, I just had to move on." Or this part, "The wealth here was what was inside. The Petropolis family and the warmth and the knowledge passed down through generations of how to cook a meal like this for a family of this size." Like having that big family over for dinner is like the wealth that everybody envies. That was beautiful. I want to reread this book like right now. Oh, I loved the word limerence in here. The state of being infatuated with another person. The last New Year's we knew each other feels like a chunk of radioactive meteor held in a jar in the palm of my hand. Like, the way that she writes, I love. I appreciate it so much, and it's so beautiful. I think that's everything I can share without like spoiling it, but oh my gosh, I don't even know where to go from here. I can't end the reading vlog. There's only 2 books in this, so I have to keep going, but I'm gonna take a little bit of a break. I literally feel like defeated. Like it wasn't even a sad ending. It got to the happy ending that we wanted, but like everything leading up to it is just, it's all been ripped out of me, and now I'm just, I really hope that you love it. If you read this because of me, I hope that you got as much out of it as I did. That's all that I can say. And now I'm gonna treasure this so much, and I wanna turn my closet into a library. I just felt like my childhood self was taken care of when reading this, and like seen. I felt seen and loved and warm, but also like so sad. I'm just gonna keep staring at the wall for a little bit, and then I don't know what to do. I'm in no mental space to pick another book right now. These are like all of my options. vlog updates because I was not feeling my chattiest this month for this reading vlog. Where we left off with me reading Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren. I was so overwhelmed by how much I loved that book that I wanted to wait a little bit before collecting my thoughts to share in this video what I thought about it, but then too much time went by. I don't know. That is kind of when I lost the talking momentum for this video, but Love and Other Words by Christina Lauren was a very, very rare 6-star read for me. I have not rated a book that highly since The 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo in 2022, so it's been 2 years of reading books before finding another book that gave me that same rush, that same feeling, that same love, that same like desire to reread it again for the first time. It was amazing, and I was really scared that it was going to put me into a reading slump because I loved it so much. Thank you, Marnie, thank you. It was Christina Lauren's best work. I just loved everything about it. I loved the trope of like best friends to lovers, but also like reconnecting with somebody that you lost touch with. And then I loved just the reoccurring themes within the books. And then I really loved the whole like favorite word consistency. And I knew so early on how that would kind of like play out, if you know what I mean, if you've read it. Marnie, that was the best book that I have read in so long since Evelyn Hugo. Basically, expectations were high. I didn't know what to read after that, and I didn't really feel like talking. I might have a few clips reading it, but afterwards I read The Guest List by Lucy Foley. It was so much better than The Paris Apartment, so I'm glad that I still read it. I heard that The Guest List was a lot better than The Paris Apartment, so I did still want to read it, and I'm glad that I did because I agree. It was better, but I think I still only gave it like 3 stars. I don't think I like her plots, but if that is your cup of tea, like I understand, go for it. I just don't know if Lucy Foley's for me. I don't even know if reading any of her other books are worth it because I've given 2 a try and it just like I read them, but the characters weren't likable or believable. It all felt so cliche and overdone. Like, I love an original mystery thriller feeling, and this just was not giving that. After The Guest List, I did go to Barnes & Noble this month, and it's in a vlog somewhere. It'll come out at some point, but I did buy 6 books from Barnes & Noble this month, and one of them was Twice in a Blue Moon by Christina Lauren because I was just so eager for another book like Love and Other Words. I wanted that feeling, that plot, that comfort, that writing style, and what better place to look than another book by Christina Lauren. I think I chose the worst book possible. I'm not even going to lie. Twice in a Blue Moon did not hit the same way that Love and Other Words did, but I still read it. Maybe it was the plot. It felt like the writing wasn't as eloquent and beautiful as Love and Other Words was, which is weird because it's like the same authors. And I was reading the Goodreads reviews on it, and it wasn't just me. A lot of people said that Christina Lauren, like, this was an L for them. I think I gave that book 3 stars, question mark. You know what, I'm being so lazy. I can just open Goodreads right now and let you know what I rated it. I love the cover though. Like, I loved the moon, and like the chapter was kind of split up with stars, and I love stars. I love the moon. Like, that part was great. Yeah, I gave it 3 stars, and I also gave The Guest List 3 stars. The Love Hypothesis was a 3-star read. So Love and Other Words really was the only 5-star read so far. The rest were 3 stars. And then my current read, which I'm going to end this reading vlog on so that I can get this up when it's still the month of April, is The Family Upstairs by Lisa Jewell. This will probably be a 4-star read unless it really blows my mind with what I have left. I'm like almost a third through it, I guess I'd say. Yeah, I started it 2 days ago. I did not read anything yesterday though, so this is just 1 day of reading. I want to finish it so badly because the plot is so good. It feels like a solid 4-star read, like I said, unless it just like gets better and better and better. But I love Lisa Jewell so much. She is my style of writing. She is my type of thriller mystery story. This cover is beautiful. It's like matte and everything is raised, so all of this has texture. This is really, really great. It kind of hops timelines between 1988, when there was a very mysterious kind of like suicide, murder, cult situation where everyone in this house seemed to like poison themselves, and you know, but then there was this baby that was being taken care of that was upstairs, and then it hops to like present day, and the baby just turned 25 and she inherits this house where everything happened. She was adopted, so she didn't really know her family's history or why she was put up for adoption. She learns that she was the baby, and it's her like trying to figure out what really happened back then. But I'm hooked. So this is so great. Thank God, because I really needed a book like that after this month. It was just like 3-star reads and then Love in Other Words. So I know I can count on Lisa Jewell. I also went to Target recently and I purchased The Family Remains, which is the sequel to this book. And I'm so glad that, I think it was on YouTube or TikTok. Somebody told me to do that because I didn't know that there was a sequel, but she was saying like, be sure you read the sequel right after you read this book because there's so many details that you need to remember. So my next read will be The Family Remains, and then I think I will be starting my May reading because it is April 29th. So I will finish this, start The Family Remains, and then get into my May reading, and then I'll probably start a May or a summer reading vlog, but this feels like it needs to be wrapped up. So that is what I read this month. This is what I'm reading. Kind of like a shorter, chiller, less chatty reading vlog, but it's okay. I just kind of wanted to read for myself for a few weeks without recording and then feeling like I had to update you. It was a good break. Yeah, that's my little April reading vlog. I'll probably film my April reading wrap up and then my May TBR soon, so that will be up shortly. Please subscribe if you are not already and you enjoy vlogs like these. And then I want to do a summer reading TBR list of like the books that I really want to read this summer, so I'll film that sometime in May and hopefully get that up soon. But thank you so much for watching this reading vlog. Comment down below what book you are currently reading, and if you've read any of these books that I read in this video, please share your thoughts on them. I've got a lot of fun books coming up for the summer and for May, so I'm really excited to share those with you. I'm about to head upstairs, get ready for bed, and read as much of this as I can. I've also been underlining. I think it was in this vlog, but this set of pens that I bought is literally the best thing that I've ever done as a reader. I will link these down below. It's just the Papermate Ink Joy Gel 0.7 pens, but it came in such a large color variation package that every single book I feel like has a different mood, and this book is very purpley in my mind, so it gets the purple pen. I'll share my thoughts on what I think of this book in my reading wrap-up video, so definitely check that out. If you're on Goodreads, please add me. I add everybody back, and then all of my books are linked down below in my Amazon storefront. And if you haven't followed my book Instagram yet, please go follow it. I follow all of the book accounts back on there, and I want to expand my community there, so definitely check out my book Instagram. It's Booking It with Mac. I think I've said everything I need to say, so I'm gonna go read, and I'll see you soon in my next video.